This is actually a great question. Like, Anne, when you said we're live, like right now, did you mean like we'd be live in like a minute, or are we live right now? This is a good question.
I think we're live right now.
You think we're live right now?
Yes, and everybody
That
who's
light
watching
looks
is
green.
having a good
Isn't
laugh.
that a green light? What does that mean?
Well, all right. Welcome to another Between Two Services, where we're never exactly sure when we start, but we try to know when we're going to finish. I'm joined this morning by Vicki Duff, who's the head of our Altar Guild, and by Beatrice Lockhart, who wanted to join me here on Between Two Services. And of course, we are an inclusive program. I'm always looking for guest hosts and things to talk about, topics that are of interest to the parish. We've tried over the course of this last 6 months to hit some devotional items, some life of the parish items, some ministry and daily life, and also some topical themes. And it would be interesting to hear back from people, some good suggestions about what we could feature on this program, and also directions that we can take it as we hopefully move into a new future. This is something that started in the pandemic, but we want it to continue post-pandemic in one form or another, and hope that it will be a blessing and a help to our parish. So please, by all means, send me emails, send suggestions, ideas, and let us know what could the future of our virtual ministry be like? What are we doing well? What could we be doing a little bit better? So this morning, I want to lift up and highlight the work of the Altar Guild. Last week we talked about the Daughters of the King. That's one of those ministries of this church that often operates outside of the spotlight, but that does many wonderful and beautiful things for us, and definitely has a deep ministry of prayer and service. I feel like Altar Guild is also one of those ministries that often operates outside of the spotlight, but that does so many things to keep our worship going smoothly, reverent, and really helps with our pastoral care. We go to load those boxes. We have such lovely pastoral care boxes, but we need all these like little linens that someone has to clean those and like fold and like iron them and do all this other stuff. And that's really some of the work that the Altar Guild does. So this is a moment to take a little bit time out of our day and let the Altar Guild shine. So, Vicki, tell us about your ministry, the ministry that you head up here.
Well, of course, the main thing we do is set up the altars for every service, 2 on Sunday and the 1 on Wednesday night. But speaking of the linens, I just ordered some new little LEM linens and some new linens for the altar. Since we started having communion again, things get spilled and they just wear out after a while. So I've just ordered some replacements, and we'll retire some, and those have to be burned, so we'll save them up for your
Bonfire.
Whenever that happens. But I love doing Altar Guild. I've been on the Altar Guild. It was the first thing I was asked to do when I first moved to Versailles and started at St. John's. So that would have been like 1996 when I moved here, and I knew absolutely nothing. I was a fairly new Episcopalian.
Oh, losing your microphone.
That's not good.
Um,
So I was kind of surprised that they asked me to join, but I enjoyed doing it from the beginning, and so however many years that is, that's a long time. It's when you come in to set up, usually alone, and it's quiet, and it's a very, as Father Dana said, very reverent ministry. We reverence the altar before we begin. It's pretty quiet, and like I say, you're usually alone, and so you're, kind of meditating on what you're doing as you do it. It's a very good ministry. I've really always enjoyed it. There is work. We have to polish silver and polish brass, and there's laundry. I've got a big box of linens I'm taking home today. But even that is, what you're doing is in preparation for the Holy Eucharist, and so there is a reverence about all of it, even the nitty-gritty polishing and laundering and ironing is all for a reverent and holy service. Anyway, I invite anybody who's interested to contact me. I have a couple of people that signed up at the ministry fair, and I'm going to be in touch with them probably when I get back from vacation next month, and get some training going. So anyone else, we'd love to have more people. There's plenty for everyone to do. And Jocelyn used to help me, my granddaughter, used to come and help me set up. She loved polishing silver and brass, and she doesn't love it anymore, but now my younger granddaughter does.
Like
Yeah, she's 12. That's
Yeah.
all I'll say.
She's 12.
That says it all. But anyway, it's a great ministry for mother and daughter, or father and daughter, mother and son,
Yeah, they're
parent
all.
and child to do together. Because one of these days, we need a new generation
Right.
of Altar Guild members. And it's not that we're all long in the tooth, but one of these days, we're going to need some younger people to step up.
Well, and I think it is, because that's something I've noticed, that oftentimes people do bring children or grandchildren. And I think that it's a beautiful way to teach reverence and respect for the faith. And I think that in this time when so much of what we've done over the course of this last 2 years is virtual, Altar Guild is really the antithesis to virtual ministry. Everything you do is tactile and involves the senses. And there's the paraments, which are beautiful, and they're costly, and they need to be cared for. There's the linens, like you just said, that it takes work because it would be so easy to kind of put that aside and lower standards, and I don't know, put butcher paper out on the altar or something.
Yeah.
Right? Versus
Yeah.
really, nice linen that's washed, that's white. How you all keep it white, I don't know, but it's amazing. Yeah, it's sort of like if you need to get a stain out, find someone who's been on the Altar Guild for a while, because they have the miracle solutions to get everything out. Because priests are messy, and if you think about our worship, there's wax and wine and oil. There's all kinds of stuff we get. Ash.
Oh, ash. Oh.
You should try to make a how to get stains out show. And it's showing everybody all the secrets.
Maybe. There's been a box of salt in the sacristy as long as I've been doing this. And it says blessed salt. And I kept waiting for the special holy day to come up where we use salt. But it's not for the service, it's for the red wine stains. That's why it's blessed. It goes on the blessed linens to get the wine out before you wash it. So it's taken me, 20 years to figure that out, why that's in there, but it works. Someone blessed it years ago, and if you get a fresh wine stain, it does the job.
Really?
I don't know if it's because it's blessed or just because it's salt, but
One way or the other.
it works.
Maybe both.
Yeah.
Maybe both. You're
Maybe
right.
both. Well, I think it's of course, altar guilds often, it's always a blessing for me because you come and things are set up so nice. And I think whenever people have watched me set up the altar, they know, he knows how to do it. It just doesn't do it as well as some other people do.
As somebody who's done it for 26 years.
Oh, you did the math.
Yep, yes I did.
There you go. So if someone wanted to get involved with Altar Guild, should they come and talk to you?
They can talk to me or anyone who's on the Altar Guild. There are 5 or 6 of us now. And so we certainly have spots for more members. If you go to the 8 o'clock service, you might want to set up for that. If you come on Wednesday nights, you might want to just do Wednesday night, or whatever. Or you can just do 10:30. There's room for everyone. And yeah, you can contact me or anyone else who serves on Altar Guild, and you would just shadow one of us 2 Sundays or 3 Sundays till you're ready to go on your own. When you decide that when you're ready to do it yourself. I know it took me a long time to remember to remove the dust cover. The priest used to gently remind me for months, you forgot the dust cover again. So, but I finally remember now.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's also the beautiful piece to it is it looks simple when you do it right, but there's a lot that goes on the altar. There's a lot that goes into our worship. There are all those specialty services, like to think through Maundy, Thursday, and foot washing. We do it once a year, and Altar Guild is always so great with that. I have to be honest, I had done Ash Wednesday for years before I came to St. John's, and it was really in this parish that solved the age-old eternal problem with Ash Wednesday, and that was how do you impose ashes on people's foreheads and then transition to Holy Communion and not get ash everywhere. And the secret was my first Ash Wednesday here, Vicki, you had set up cut lemons, and you were like, use these. And sure enough, you squeeze the lemon juice, and the next thing you know, 95% of the ash is off your hands. It's so quick, it's so fast, and it lets the service go on without making it. And I've shared that with other clergy. So, the blessing I receive from our Altar Guild, I hope will continue to go on and bless other people.
That's nice.
And that's one of the things where I often feel so lucky to have such dedicated people who think through how do we do things reverently, how do we keep things nice, how do we keep things organized, because a lot of parishes, a lot of clergy, they don't have an Altar Guild. And so I think if you're someone who has a reverence, likes to do things that are tactile, and wants a good, thorough lesson in kind of the ins and outs of how we try to keep communion special, sacred, and holy in our worship life, and also good amateur chemistry, Altar Guild might be the ministry for you.
You also will learn a lot of history of St. John's while you're touching all these elements and looking at them. A lot of the things we use are engraved gifts, and some of them are over 100 years old. Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool to. I don't recognize the names on most things, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of moving to see how many, we have some beautiful chalices and book stands and all kinds of things that have been generously given to St. John's over the years.
Well, I want to thank you, Vicki, for coming on today. Just so people know, I literally nabbed her about 20 minutes ago and said, hey, I need someone to come on between two services this morning. As she was, as she often is, was in the sacristy, making sure things were set up right. And so thank you for coming on.
You're very welcome.
And sharing with us this ministry. I am grateful for the work that you do and the work that your team does. Bea, you being here reminds me that I should probably send out the reminder that we have an essay contest. You need to write your essay.
Yes, I do.
And you all, please, if there are young people in your life, encourage them to write the essays. Like we have there's prizes, and
Are there money prizes?
there is money prizes.
With $100 money prizes?
It is a $175 first prize. Is that a good one?
Yes.
The second prize is $100. Third prize is $75.
Not bad.
Not bad.
So basically, you just subtract the 75, and then you go back to the 75 but subtract the 100.
Yes. The prize amounts were meant to echo the 175th anniversary. It was pretty clever, I thought.
Yes.
I
think
came
so,
up with
too.
it. So I think it's clever.
Of course, you think it's clever because you came up with it.
I
thought it was clever too.
What can I say? We do look forward to reading essays, and I hope Jocelyn will write one.
I do too.
Okay.
She's a good writer, so she should.
I know.
It's just,
It's
she's 12.
She's
I
12.
just keep saying that 7 times a day.
all right. Well, maybe if you say Father Dana really wants to pay you $175,
Okay.
maybe that'll be the
I'll try.
motivation. Okay.
She likes dollars.
All right. Thank you all for watching another episode. We've got one next week, and then our final one for the summer will be June 5th. We're going to wrap up and then come back in the fall. Again, I encourage people to send in suggestions, feedback, ideas. What could this ministry look like, and how could it be beneficial for the parish come the fall?
Okay. The
Okay.
Hughes House meeting.
Oh, yes, and we've got the Hughes House meeting today, which should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Am I going to be there?
If you want to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.